Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to both of you for all you do to keep us safe and to keep our country free. Your service and sacrifice are deeply appreciated. Late last week, there was a video that surfaced, a video that appeared to show the Free Syrian Army, personnel from the Free Syrian Army, threatening and insulting American service members and forcing them to leave the town of Al-Rai, where they had been providing assistance to the FSA. Analysts who have studied the video believe the incident occurred because the U.S. is also supporting Kurdish forces in Syria. Secretary Carter, first, have you seen this video, and can you confirm reports that it appears to have taken place in Al-Rai?
I've not seen the video. I've read reports about it. Let me ask Chairman Dunford, who has followed that closely, to answer you.
Senator, it took place in northern Syria. I'm familiar with it. I didn't watch the video. I have spoken to our commanders about it. What I can assure you is that the group that was taking some action against our forces, at least verbally, was a very small minority of the forces we're supporting, and that incident was policed up by our other partners. And we view that to be an isolated incident and not reflective of the relationship that our forces have with the vetted Syrian opposition forces. In fact, I think the progress along the northern border between Syria and Turkey is indicative of the relationship we have, which is very effective.
Okay, so I think that goes a certain distance toward answering what was my next question, which was, you know, what's the level of tension that you're seeing between some of the Sunni Arab rebel groups that were assisting on the one hand, and on the other hand, the Kurdish groups that were also supporting in Syria, and is there tension there, and could that tension and the resentment that it engenders possibly threaten the security of our U.S. personnel?
Senator, there's incredible tension in that region, and I would offer to you, I think it's a testimony to the professionalism of our forces that are there, because they have actually been managing this tension for months and months. And the fact that we've been able to continue to support the Syrian Democratic Forces and have them make the significant progress they made, and continue to support the vetted Syrian opposition forces, while we politically manage the relationship between Turkey and the Syrian Democratic Forces and the United States, it is all part of a pretty complicated situation on the ground over there that we are managing on a day-to-day basis. I'm not dismissive of the challenges, but frankly, to date, we have been able to mitigate them.
Okay, thank you. Yesterday, as I'm sure you're both aware, the Senate debated a resolution of disapproval related to the sale of U.S. weapons to Saudi Arabia, and there was some discussion of our broader support of Saudi Arabia's intervention in Yemen. This is a headline from November 2014. Houthis gain ground against Yemen's Al-Qaeda, say they will continue their fight until Al-Qaeda is defeated in their strongholds. Secretary Carter, you stated on April 8th, 2015, regarding new gains being made by Al-Qaeda in the Arab Peninsula. Quote, AQAP is a group that we're very concerned with as the United States, because in addition to having other regional ambitions and ambitions within Yemen, we all know that AQAP has the ambition to strike Western targets, including the United States, close quote. Now, your quote was made, I believe, roughly 1 month after the U.S.-supported intervention against the Houthi rebels, who 4 months before had been pushing back against AQAP before that began in earnest. Now, I understand the complexity of the conflict in Yemen, and I completely appreciate the fact there are no easy answers when it comes to that conflict in Yemen. But, Mr. Secretary, do AQAP and other Sunni extremist groups operating in Yemen still pose the greater threat to U.S. security?
I absolutely stand by what I said. We continue to watch very closely AQAP and to take action where we need to protect ourselves. No question about it.
Okay, and does our support of the fight against the Houthis, who are also AQAP's enemy, does that threaten potentially, however inadvertently, to strengthen or take the focus off of AQAP or ISIS?
We've not taken our focus off of AQAP, no.
General Dunford, you look like you wanted to add something.
No, I fully agree with the Secretary in that we are singularly focused on AQAP, and we have the resources dedicated to AQAP that we think are appropriate.
Okay. I see my time's expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Secretary,